let's go. Hey, are you ready? It's time for the Pwamps Show. Hey, are you ready? It's time for the Pwamps Show. Hey, Pwamps. Hey, Pwamps.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome your host, Pwamps.
All right, everybody, welcome to another episode of the Pwamps Show, Sports Edition, and what a turbulent week we had in the world of sports. I was live at the Galen Center for USC and Purdue in men's basketball, and then we had a heck of a divisional weekend in the NFL playoffs. Let's get started with Saturday's games. Everyone was hyped. We had 4 games on the schedule to get the divisional round of the playoffs under our belts, folks, and it all started in Denver at Mile High. The number 1 seeded Denver Broncos taking on a very, very good team in the 6 seeded Buffalo Bills. Bills came into this game as favorites. Sean McDermott and the Buffalo Bills came out firing. Josh Allen looked great. James Cook was excellent on the grounds. How about some great plays by Mr. Knox as well? Bills offense looking good. They were not left behind in Buffalo. How about the Broncos? Bo Nix, he was doing Bo Nix type things. He looked very good. Cortland Sutton was making key plays down the field. Sean Payton was pleased with what he saw from his guys. Now, this game had some controversy that we have to bring up. Late in this game, game-changing, key play for the Buffalo Bills down the field, big catch, overturned. It's a Broncos interception. Bo Nix and the Broncos go down the field. Final 2 plays left in this game, folks. Bo Nix breaks his ankle. He's out for the season. Out for the rest of the postseason. This just shakes the NFL world. Jarrett Stidham from Auburn. He is now in control in Denver. Sean Payton's got all the confidence in the world in Jarrett. I wish him luck. He's going to be playing in the AFC Championship game next week. Big win for the Broncos over the Bills. Let's get to our next game. It was another 1 seed in action, and I say what I usually say about teams coming out of the bye. How were they going to perform? Some teams you see, they're flat. They come out not ready to play. Some teams come off that bye more ready to play. They're the Energizer Bunny. Well, guess what? The Seattle Seahawks, they were the Energizer Bunny. Kenneth Walker, 3 TDs on the ground. Jackson Smith-Njigba, another huge receiving night. Sam Darnold fighting through the oblique injury. He looked excellent in a major postseason appearance against the 6-seeded San Francisco 49ers. Brock Purdy really struggled. CMC couldn't get a lot going. Brandon Ayuk, he couldn't get a lot going. Kyle Juszczyk, he really struggled for the Niners today. Kyle Shanahan, these guys could not get a lot going on Saturday evening. Nothing was going right for the San Francisco 49ers. And reminder, they were still without George Kittle. So guess what? What does that mean? The Seattle Seahawks are in the NFC Championship game next weekend. It's going to be a good one. Let's get to Sunday's games. Everybody was excited. We saw some major weather for these Sunday games. Chilly and snow at Gillette Stadium in Foxborough as the 2-seeded New England Patriots played host to the 5-seeded Houston Texans. And guess what? D'Amico Ryans, he was ready to bring the defense, bring the heat to young QB Drake May and Mike Vrabel's New England Patriots. Could they get the job done? No. Not when C.J. Stroud was turning the ball over like he was. It was a really tough performance for the Houston Texans on all sides of the ball. The defense struggled. The offense couldn't get much going. Now, reminder, they were playing without star receiver Nico Collins. That really hurt them. The Texans could not get a thing happening for this team. And that leads to all things for the New England Patriots. Drake May was excellent. Ramondre Stevenson, he was excellent. Travion Henderson, he was excellent. Hunter Henry, again, fantastic for the New England Patriots. And guess what? They punched their ticket to the AFC Championship game. They will play the Denver Broncos in the 2-seed and the 1-seed matchup next weekend with a chance to get to Super Bowl 60. That will be a good one. Now, folks, the biggest game of the weekend took place on Sunday evening, and it was almost a little fairy tale ending. A close fairy tale ending, but all for naught. It was the Los Angeles Rams, the 5 seed in the NFC, traveling to Soldier Field. And once again, snow and some chilly temperatures, folks. It was exciting. Caleb Williams was pulling all types of things out of the hat. Cole Kmet, he was excellent. How about Cortland Loveland? He was excellent for the Bears. You can never forget DeAndre Swift. Mr. Manungai. So many weapons for the Bears, playing great football. The defense, it was a reverse from the Packers game. In the first half, the Bears defense was electric against the Rams. In the Packers game, they stunk. Totally different behavior, almost bipolar, if you would. Now, as for the Rams, it's a two-man show, and it continues to be. You've got Matthew Stafford, who a lot of people think is going to be the MVP of the NFC this year. He's been unbelievable. Maybe MVP of the league. And then, of course, Puka Nacua. You've got the best QB in the NFL right now. You've got the best wide receiver in the NFL. It's tough to participate in a game when you're going against two guys that are as good as they are on offense, but the Bears held their own. But guess what? It was coming down to the wire. Bears fans at Soldier Field are thinking it's over. Then we have one of the best plays take place in NFL history that we're probably ever going to see. Caleb Williams rolls back, 3-step drop. Things look bad. It looks like he's going to take a sack. All of a sudden, off his back foot, ball starts at the 20-yard line. He's all the way back to the 40-yard line. Off his back foot, heaves one. And Cole Kmet catches it in the end zone to tie this game. We go to overtime. Both teams having some opportunities to win this game. Caleb Williams with a costly interception late in the game. DJ Moore just couldn't run the route the right way. He kind of misran the route. It leads to a pick. Rams go down the field. And guess what? Hector Mavis, he kicks the game winner for the Rams. The Rams are going to Seattle. They're going to play the Seattle Seahawks in the NFC title game. And guess what? We get part 3 of the NFC West rivalry between the Seahawks and the Rams, which they split this season. That does it for the NFL divisional round. But let's talk about some head coaches. Let's get to our first coach right here. Got to talk about John Harbaugh. John Harbaugh, coach of the Baltimore Ravens, obviously let go this offseason. So everybody thought, where is John Harbaugh going to go? Legendary coach who a lot of franchises could use that would really give him a boost. Well, it's official. A 5-year deal, and John Harbaugh is headed to the New York Giants. A lot of great weapons with the Giants. A lot of young talent. This is an up-and-coming team. I really look forward to seeing what John Harbaugh can do. You've got a great quarterback in Jackson Dart. You're going to have Cam Scatabo off injury. Malik Neighbors is going to be off injury. You got a good little kicker from Tip City, Ohio, in Ben Sauls. It's going to be a really fun time to be watching the New York Giants next season. Now, let's turn to our next page here. Let's look at who the Atlanta Falcons got. Did they get their guy? Boy, did they ever. They've got a guy named Kevin Stefanski, the Cleveland Browns former coach. Kevin Stefanski, big move for the Falcons here. Maybe a little bit of a gamble. We still don't know who's going to be QB in Atlanta. Obviously, Kirk Cousins. He was quarterbacking for the Falcons down the stretch here after that Michael Penix season-ending injury. Do the Falcons ride it out with Michael Penix? Or are we going to see Kirk Cousins under Kevin Stefanski? We're going to find out. But another little interesting thing that we'll be looking forward to seeing next season in the NFL. That's all right now on the head coaching vacancies. Let's turn to our next little slide here. And folks, tonight, 7:30, it is the national championship game in college football. The college football playoff comes to an end. The Miami Hurricanes, the 10 seed in the playoff, taking on the number 1 seeded Indiana Hoosiers. Obviously, Mario Cristobal leads this Hurricanes team. They love to be violent. They love to get down and dirty. And we are going to see them have the opportunity to get really violent against the best team in college football. Curt Cignetti with his side eye, ready to get it going at Hard Rock Stadium in Miami. I talked about this last week on the show. Virtually a home game for the Hurricanes. Indiana fans, they've been at all these games. They've been showing out. Are they going to pack Hard Rock Stadium? We are going to find out tonight. So many weapons. Fernando Mendoza, quick little storyline. We heard just a couple nights ago he was in his hotel room. He kept getting knocks at his door and prank calls. This guy couldn't get any sleep. They had to move him hotel rooms. He's got to get his beauty sleep, folks. He's got to be ready for the championship game. He's the Heisman winner, for crying out loud. We got to see this guy at his best, and we should have a quarterback battle for the ages, by the way, with Carson Beck, who's on a kind of a revenge tour, proving that him getting cut from Georgia was a mistake, and you got the Heisman winner in Fernando Mendoza. It's going to be a fun one tonight. Miami and Indiana, that is going down this evening. That will be fun. Let's keep it moving. Now, we got to talk some NCAA basketball. Crazy weekend, as a lot of teams that people were hyped about had some big movement in these rankings. Now, the rankings come out this morning, but I have to talk about this, okay? Iowa State, they just lost at Cincinnati. They were undefeated, lost 2 games this week in Big 12 play. That is big news for the Cyclones. That is not the way you want to go. Get to Big 12 play, lose 2 games in a row, especially a Cincinnati team that's not playing the greatest right now, but a big-time win for the Bearcats. Congrats to the Bearcats. That's a huge win. I noted I was at the Galen Center for USC and Purdue. This was a great little game. Chad Baker-Mazar was leading the Trojans, but then, of course, you run into the National Player of the Year in Braden Smith, who took over this game. And I can tell you right now, Braden Smith is one of those guys. He changes the entire game when he is on the court. He went out at the very start of this game with a little bit of an injury, went back to the locker room. There was a shift. The Trojans really felt like they were in control. Eric Musselman had these guys playing well. Cam Woods started to really take over the game. Braden not guarding him, not being able to shut him down. USC looked really good, but then Braden re-enters this game and the Boilermakers turn it on. Trey Kaufman-Wren takes over. You've got guys like Fletcher Lawyer, who Fletcher's kind of taking a back seat right now for the Boilermakers, but clutch on free throws and making a couple of key buckets down the stretch. Boilermakers get their win. Some other big movement. Want to give a shout out to the Wright State Raiders, currently leading the Horizon League right now. Hail Wright State, hail Wright State U. And Clint Sargent, it's a big deal, as right now Raiders hold a little lead in the conference standing over the Oakland Grizzlies. That's happening right now. Also, shout out to the Dayton Flyers. They're in the hunt right now at the top of the A10 with George Mason, who is looking really good, and the St. Louis Billikens. By the way, Billikens in the A10, they're a top 25 team in the net rankings right now. A lot of bracketologists have St. Louis as an auto bid right now in the NCAA tournament. They're 15-1. And they're number 24 in the net. That is where you want to be right now as we're getting close to being midway through the season. A lot of good things going on for the Billikens. Some other news. Arizona still undefeated. They are looking great. The Nebraska Cornhuskers, they're looking great. Peyton Sanford, he had a great game as they went on the road to Northwestern. Nick Martinelli, don't get me wrong, he's a tough player. He can change things for the Wildcats, but guys, Nebraska's playing out of their mind right now. Fran Hoiberg, he has these guys playing some phenomenal basketball. Nebraska stays undefeated. I have to talk about something else. Let's go to the next slide here. We've got the Miami Redhawks. And I tell you, this is one of those stories where you take a look at it and it's like, is this real life? You know that meme where the kid's like, is this real life? Is this real life for the Miami Redhawks out of Oxford, Ohio? They currently are still undefeated. I went on record saying if they could beat Central Michigan at home, if they could beat Buffalo at home, I believe they were going to be in the top 25 rankings. We're going to find that out today. I think they deserve to be in it. They have some really, really good weapons, and this is a good team. I don't care the schedule you've played. When you're undefeated, you get to 18-0, you get to 19-0. Heck, you get to 20-0. It's tough to tally 20 wins in a row against anybody. Rank the Miami Redhawks. Put them in the top 25. They deserve it. By the way, big game though this week. They go to Kent State. They take on the Golden Flashes, who are another team who are right there at the top of the Mid-American Conference, or the MAC, as many of you know. Let's keep it going. Now we got to talk about the NBA. This is our first time I'm going to kind of dive in a little bit to the NBA on the show. I'm going to get to this again in a couple of weeks, but I want everybody to kind of get quickly filled in because, folks, we're a couple of weeks away from the All-Star break, which is going to be at the Intuit Dome in Los Angeles, which if you've not been to Intuit Dome, put it on your list of arenas to see. It is unbelievable what the Clippers have done in Inglewood. That stadium is just phenomenal. Let's get to it, though. Eastern Conference. We got the top 6 spots on the board. We're going to break it down. Right now at the top, you've got the Detroit Pistons. A lot of Pistons fans would not have seen this coming. A lot of NBA fans did not see this coming. Cade Cunningham is playing great basketball. Jaden Ivey, I loved watching him at Purdue. He's providing a spark for this team. They are a fun team to watch. The Pistons, they sit at number 1. Number 2 is the Boston Celtics. I'm going to go into the Celtics for a second. When people saw the Jason Tatum injury last season, they thought no way for the Boston Celtics was anything really going to come of this season. The Celtics are sitting right now in second place. They're 26-15. Jaylen Brown has taken over for this team. Yes, he's getting a lot of help from Derek White. Derek White was a huge acquisition from the San Antonio Spurs a couple of years ago, but the Celtics are as dangerous as ever, folks. And let me make this clear. We've heard a couple of things that the Celtics are trying to do at the trade deadline. 2 calls they're trying to make. First call, they called the Memphis Grizzlies. They're checking in on Jaren Jackson Jr. That is big news. The other thing that we kind of keep hearing, which now with the Clippers playing as well as they are, is it going to stick? We don't know. But they also called to check in on the availability of Ivica Zubac, the center for the Clippers. Also got to give a shout out to Peyton Pritchard. Boy, oh boy, can that kid shoot the ball. Celtics are fun to watch. Third, New York Knicks. Again, you think of the Knicks, you think of Spike Lee sitting courtside, you think of Ben Stiller sitting courtside, but then you get to the players. Jalen Brunson again. I was a guy, when I watched Villanova, I'll tell you, I didn't see it. I thought to myself, Jalen Brunson, yeah, he's going to make it to the NBA, but I don't know if he's going to be the guy. Boy, oh boy, was I proven wrong. Jalen Brunson, dude, you are a stud. You are leading this team, and now you've got weapons like Karl Anthony Towns. How about Deuce McBride off the bench? I love watching this Knicks team. I was at MSG a couple of years ago for one game. The atmosphere is unlike anything I've ever seen for a regular season basketball game. It was crazy. 4 seed, the Toronto Raptors. Scotty Barnes, folks. The Raptors are a good team. They're in the top 6. Cleveland Cavaliers. Too many weapons. Too many weapons. Evan Mobley, Jared Allen, still with one of the best afros in the NBA. Then you've got guys like Spider-Man and freaking Donovan Mitchell. How about Darius Garland? This is a team that should not be overlooked. Cavs sit right now, though, at number 5, and then number 6, Tyrese Maxey, Joel Embiid. I mean, the Jared McCain saga is getting kind of interesting, but the Sixers sit at 6 right now. Let's get to the Western Conference. Everyone knows about the Oklahoma City Thunder. You've got guys like Chet Holmgren. You've got Shea, do I flop a lot, Alexander. Yeah, a lot of people, Shea, if you could just tone down on the flopping a little bit, I don't know. That's just my opinion. But the Thunder are sitting number 1. They still look like the best team in the NBA right now. Lou Dort, I love watching you play as well. 2 seed. Number 2 right now in the standings, it's the San Antonio Spurs. Victor Wembanyama. First of all, he got a haircut. He's now bald. He had hair, not anymore. A lot of people aren't big on the haircut, Victor, so take with that what you will, but you're now bald. Hey, my dad's bald. It works for him. I'm not so sure it's working from you based on what people are saying on social media, but you do you, Victor. You do you. Spurs are sitting right now in the 2nd spot in the standings, and again, they are a dangerous team, folks, the San Antonio Spurs. 3rd, the Denver Nuggets. Quick thing, Nikola Jokic is still not playing for the Nuggets. We think we're going to get him back in a couple of games. In the past, though, Jamal Murray, he's been on a heater. He had 42 points just a couple nights ago. Nuggets are looking great. Aaron Gordon is also playing some great basketball. How about Christian Braun? This is a good team. And right now they're sitting at 3rd in the West, and that is without the MVP and Nikola Jokic. Boy, oh boy, Nugs are good. 4 seed, 4th in the standings, the Minnesota Timberwolves. Anthony Edwards, he's had a couple of injuries, but the Ant-Man is still kicking tail when it comes to being on the court. Rudy Gobert, the guy can still rebound. You've got dangerous weapons for the T-Wolves. They sit at 4 right now in the standings. 5th, it's the Houston Rockets. Alfred Sengun, he's been dominant. He's a double-double machine. Fred VanVleet, he still runs the point for the Rockets, and it's looking good. He's looking good. Guy hasn't lost a step. Even though he's starting to get up there just a little bit in the age, Fred's looking excellent. How about the 6? It's the LA Lakers. LeBron James, Luka Doncic, DeAndre Ayton, Jackson Hayes. I tell you, it's interesting. There was a lot of drama going on with the Lakers. LeBron was kind of sitting away from the huddle. Luka Doncic looked a little aggravated by some things. J.J. Redick was fuming. He was saying comments like, I don't know where we go from here. But it's crazy because the Lakers are still sitting at the 6th spot right now. They're out of the play-in. They're looking pretty good. They're a game back from the Rockets. They could get up to 5. Heck, they could move up in these standings right now. We're not even to the All-Star break yet. But that's the update on the NBA. Let's keep it moving. Now we got to get to the Australian Open in Melbourne, folks. A lot of things going on. You see 6 of the big stars of the tennis tour right now. Novak Djokovic, he plays tomorrow. He has not played in his first-round matchup in the Australian Open. Aryna Sabalenka, big win for her, straight sets. She's into the second round. Jannik Sinner, again, he plays tomorrow, not on the court yet in Melbourne. Then we've got Coco. Coco, another straight set victory. She's into the second round. Carlos Alcaraz, he looked excellent. He is into the second round. And folks, reminder, Carlos Alcaraz is going for the career Grand Slam. For those of you who don't know what the career Grand Slam is, it is just winning all 4 majors. The 4 majors in tennis, you've got the Australian Open. It kicks off the tennis major calendar. Then you've got the French Open, you've got Wimbledon, and you've got the U.S. Open. The Australian Open is the first stop. Carlos Alcaraz, he has the French Open, he has Wimbledon, and he has the U.S. Open. He just needs the Australian Open. Will he do it? We're going to find out this tournament. It's going to be fun to keep an eye on Carlos. And then Madison Keys out of the U.S., she has not played yet either, but she's looking to get to the second round in just a couple of days. A lot of great things going on at the Australian Open. So much fun. Madison Keys as well. She got another big win today for the American ladies. She's into the second round. Sophia Kenin, she loses today. She is out. But if you like tennis, if you get into these majors, the first one is here. Turn them on. All the coverage is on the ESPN networks. You can check them out going on right now. But reminder, since this is down under, it's a very weird time to be watching them. Most of the time we're getting under the blankets, we're putting our head against the pillow. These matches are just starting. But if you like it, get them on. Let's keep going. Now our last bit of news, and I did a short on this just a little bit ago, but we have to talk about it. Bo Bichette, they wanted this guy. They wanted Kyle Tucker. The New York Mets, they wanted Kyle Tucker. They didn't get that guy. So what do the Mets do? They go out and get the next best guy in Bo Bichette from the Toronto Blue Jays. They get him on a 3-year deal. Now, Kyle Tucker, where does he go? Let's think about this. Who has kind of swooped up every star as of late? Well, it's the back-to-back World Series champions, the LA Dodgers. Kyle Tucker to the Dodgers on a 5-year deal. The lineup keeps getting more dangerous. The Mets get Bo Bichette. The Dodgers get Kyle Tucker from the Chicago Cubs. Folks, baseball season, as crazy as this seems, spring training is right around the corner. Opening day is March 26th. This is crazy, but it's all right around the corner. I hope you all enjoyed the show this week. That is the update on the sports world. I'll keep you updated with shorts this week. Hey, folks, who's going to go to the Super Bowl? Who's going to make a big push in the Australian Open? And one other thing, reminder, February 6th is the opening ceremony of the Winter Olympics in Milan. We got a lot going on. Hope you enjoyed the show. I'll talk to you all soon.